Good evening, everyone, and welcome to TK Shutter Reserve in Wako Wadley Wadley on Ghana land in northeastern Adelaide. 778 clubs entered the 2023 Australia Cup. 8 remain, 5 A-League clubs, 3 member-fed clubs. And this evening, we have David versus Goliath again as the quarterfinals in this season's Australia Cup get underway. It's the Australian reigning premiers, Melbourne City, taking on the South Australian NPL premiers in the Metrostars. The locals eyeing off a big cup set. They're an ambitious club who won the Federation Cup, the South Australian NPL Cup, earlier this year. Finnish premiers were bundled out in the semi-finals of the NPL playoffs, which has left a bitter taste in the mouth. Nothing would remedy that more than a massive cup set against the best team in the country in Melbourne City, even if it is a much changed Melbourne City at the moment. So 2 changes for coach Danny Greystone from the side that beat Inter Lions by 1-0 in the round of 16. Experienced captain Anthony Solagna returns at the expense of Christian D'Angelo. The other change is up front, where top scorer James Temelkovski, who's been missing trialling with A-League clubs, is back, but only for a place on the bench. And it's the star of the last 16, Ren Nagamatsu, who gets his chance to lead the line up front. Keep an eye out on the 39-year-old Fabian Barbiero, 1 cap for the Socceroos, nearly 100 matches for Adelaide United back in the day. And he is still running the show in the middle of the park for the Metrostars. Well, Rado Vidosic has an already much changed squad this year. Added to that have been a raft of absentees this evening. Matt Leckie and Andrew Naboot are out injured. Jamie McLaren is expecting his first child, so hasn't travelled. Callum Talbot has only just returned from Tajikistan with the under-23s, while Scott Galloway and Nuno Reis won't be risked just a week out from the start of the Champions League campaign. But there are plenty of new faces on show there, including a first ever start for Melbourne City for French defender Samuel Suprayon in the centre of defence. Well, we are playing on an artificial pitch here, which will suit the home side, the Metrostars. There is the 25-year-old Ren Nagamatsu. He's only scored 3 goals this season, but 2 of them have been last-minute winners. He also came off the bench to get the winner in the Fed Cup final against Campbelltown City in a 3-2 victory in that 119th minute, where he struck before scoring the only goal of the game against Inter Lions last time out. And a big opportunity for him in the absence of Temelkovski up front. Well, the number 44 in there, the new Croatian signing, there he is, Marin Jakolic, the Croatian who is carrying an Australian passport. His dad spent 15 years living in Melbourne. Jakolic has the Aussie passport. It's his first trip back to the land of his father's nationality. And he wears the number 44 in honour of the famous Croatian basketballer Drazen Petrovic, who was named the greatest European basketballer of all time and was actually coached by Marin Jakolic's dad when he was a kid. So that's where the number 44 comes from. There's Danny Greystone back in Adelaide with the side he played for after a spell coaching Cairns in the Queensland NPL, albeit briefly. Our referee for this evening's clash is Sean Evans. He's being assisted by Brad Wright and Arvin Shanmuganathan. Our 4th official is Daniel Elder. And there is the 61-year-old Rado Vidosic. 12 players leaving the club over the winter, 11 coming in. Plenty of food for thought for Rado Vidosic. We'll be looking to continue the winning ways. And we are underway in TK Shutter Reserve. A much changed Melbourne City looking to confirm their place as the A-League side. Phil Moss, but against a Metrostars outfit who may be helped by the hometown advantage and the artificial pitch, but certainly a side with big ambitions and results on the board this season as well.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely so much to play for Metrostars with their local season now behind them. all the focus is on the cup, and they're dangerous opposition for Melbourne City tonight. They're going to have to go about their business very professionally and take every advantage they can get. It may take them a little while, as we're seeing here, just to come to grips with that synthetic pitch.
And an early touch for Nagamatsu, the 25-year-old Japanese striker who arrived 2 seasons ago from Artista Asama in the Japanese 5th division. Plenty of talk about playing surfaces in the last week in Australian football after the Socceroos in action in Dallas, but it does take a few minutes to get used to if you're used to playing on grass, and it's certainly a home ground advantage in every sense of the word. Certainly one that helped Sydney United last year when we saw them become the first member-fed club to go all the way to the final.
Yeah, that's right, and it plays with your mind when you're not used to playing on synthetic, because your footing is different, the trust that you have in your studs, what sort of footwear you do wear, and of course the pace of the ball, the skid of the ball, the roll of the ball, the bounce. It does certainly take a little bit of time to get used to, and of course the wear and tear on the legs as well during the game. Fatigue can set in a lot quicker because it's a harder surface, less give.
Handball against Ayubi, as is Bajic. Great to see him back in the domestic league. The Socceroo star, one of the many new faces at Melbourne City. Vastly experienced player, so many years, most recently in Scotland, but the Netherlands and Turkey. There's another new face, Jamie Young in goal. He's long, good defensive header at the back there by McNamara. One of many youngsters in this Metrostars side, just 20 years of age. The number 4. And one of many of the youngsters, here he is again on the ball, McNamara, to have spent time with the Adelaide United Academy in recent times as well. Little flick on there by the big frame of Nagamatsu. Flag up for offside against Fabian Barbiero.
Yeah, we just got a shot of Rado Vidosic. Interesting how hard he would have been working through the off-season and the pre-season on the players' mindset after that grand final loss to the Central Coast Mariners. For the players that remain, make no mistake, he will have been trying to erase that from their minds as quickly as possible and look forward. It was a big, big night for the Mariners, but it was embarrassing for a club the size of Melbourne City.
It certainly was. It was a monumental drubbing. Mind you, 8 of the starting 11 this evening weren't there. Well, I mean, not at the club, because there was also Max Caputo, who didn't feature in the grand final. Who was Hamish Gow, who is a goal-scoring midfielder and often leads the high press of this Metrostars side. He's looking to put the pressure on Jamie Young there. Jordan Hall, another of the players who didn't feature in the grand final, so that's 10. If you're trying to pick the player who was here, it was a certain Curtis Good at the back. There he is with that clearance. The Socceroo, won't call him a former Socceroo, not just yet. Gow with the little touch in midfield. Back to McNamara, alongside him is skipper Anthony Solana, one of the more experienced heads. Nearly 300 matches for the Metrostars for the red and yellow number 10. Look at the pace of Ayubi down that right flank.
That's going to be a fantastic battle, isn't it? Up against the experience of that man there, as is Bajic. So great. I know you just mentioned it, Robbie. So great to see him back in the A-League. I still think he's got plenty to offer. And he won't want to let go of that Socceroo jersey too easily either. So plenty for him to play for.
Well, the Dundee United fans were sad to see him leave. He impressed a lot of people in Scotland last season in a Dundee United side that was bundled out early of the Champions League and probably didn't live up to the the expectations. Oh, as Jamie Young grabs it at the second attempt.
It's also interesting, isn't it, that Bajic has replaced the man who is trying to replace him in the Socceroo jersey in Jordan Boss, who of course has gone overseas and didn't play the other night against Mexico. He's got an injury in training, I believe, at his new club, but Bajic will certainly be wanting to put in some good performances to keep him at bay in the Socceroo setup.
Just saw some nice touches from one of the new men, Tolgay Arslan, a former German and Turkish youth international, born and raised in Germany, of Turkish origins, won the Turkish First Division twice with Besiktas, another big game player, and he's impressed since arriving. Say he scored 2.5 goals already in the Australia Cup, and will give, well, even 3/4 to Stevan Ugarkovic for that stunning strike against Wellington Phoenix in the last round, a 3-0 victory after coming from behind to defeat the Oakley Cannons, last year's semi-finalists, by 3-2. And they have a corner here after what's been a pretty bright opening 6.5 minutes from the home side, Metrostars.
Yeah, they certainly settled on the ball a little bit quicker than Melbourne City. They haven't been able to string their passes together, which is kind of what we expected.
And it will be Arslan to take charge of this corner. Yakolish is at the near post, and it goes short near post, and it's defended behind by the American, Cameron Woodfin.
Doing his job at the near post, in that near post zone, Woodfin.
His 32nd match of the season, more appearances than any other player in the Metrostars squad. This one dinked in. Oh, and the header was good from Suprayon, the French central defender, I think it was. Or was it Max Caputo, the youngster, up front?
Either way, it was a dangerous looking set piece. Fantastic delivery. It's hard to see who gets a connection from that angle.
Might have just glanced off a couple of forwards and then almost been an own goal, I think, in the end against McNamara.
Showed the importance of having defenders on the post, though, and holding their position as well.
Hamza Saki. And there is a good header at the front post, Yakolish. So 2 of the new signings. Saki, the Moroccan, who was in France last year with Auxerre, as it's taken short and quickly, in it comes again, and a good defensive header away, and the break is on. Look at the pace of Austin Ayubi. Well, he had too much pace for Ugarkovic. Right off, Bajic rather was backpedaling. Now the cross in, near post, and the flag is up for offside. What an opportunity, though, on the counter-attack for the Metrostars.
What a wonderful counter-attack, and that's a warning sign for Melbourne City. When you're attacking a set piece, you've got to have your rest defence set. You could see Ayubi with his pace, and he did the right thing. He took the space to let other players join the attack, and then he picks out a wonderful ball. It was just the run from Cittadini was just a touch too early. Getting himself offside.
And here they come again, a little 1-2, not intentional. And again, it's Michael Cittadini, who's a homegrown talent who left the club to go through the state system.
It's a wonderful bit of improvisation from Cittadini as well, playing off his strike partner. Just couldn't get the execution right in the end, but some very promising signs for Metrostars.
A bit of the prodigal son returning. Cittadini, who grew up at the club before leaving through the state system, played a couple of seasons at Olympic as well before returning. And in the absence of Temelkovski, who scored 31 goals in 30 matches in all competitions this season, he is the most reliable source of goals for this side, Cittadini. He's got 17 so far this campaign. Now Ugarkovic has found Hamza Saki. Hall, a little touch from Saki. Alessandro Lopane, who's arrived from Western Sydney and already found the back of the net with that late winner against the Oakley Cannons. Arslan with good. Holds onto the ball, little flick towards Caputo. It was Yakolish looking to play the 1-2 with Caputo, and then it's Hamza Saki with the shot in the end.
Here's that replay of the header from Yakolish, and that's a wonderful little run. It's just darted off that near post. It's so hard to defend when the delivery's good. In the end, forced a wonderful reflex save.
Arrived on loan from the French second division with Angers. Yakolish, Croatia under-21 international. Here's Suprayon. Bit of French flavour in the A-Leagues at the moment. Strong challenge by the veteran Nagel on Lopane.
I'm not sure there's anyone in Australian sport as adept as you, Robbie Thompson, at the pronunciation of those French names.
Don't suggest that that's why they're all suddenly showing up with the A-League clubs, but there are some good players gracing our shores at the moment. Ball to the back post towards Nagamatsu. And it's well defended by Hamza Saki again, and it had to be.
That's wonderful play again from that man there, Ayubi. Very smart decision too, just to hang it up to the back post and give Nagamatsu something to run at. Well defended in the end by Melbourne City, but Metrostars starting to ask some questions. With that, there is no doubt.
He's got 5 cup goals himself so far this season, Austin Ayubi, just 21 years of age. Spent half a season in Cyprus with Otholos Athienu before returning to play in Adelaide. And Solana can't keep it in play at the back post. "32 years of age, not the oldest in this squad. He's also a 39-year-old in midfield in Fabian Barbiero, of course. And Ryan Veach, the understudy goalkeeper, as well, is 38 years of age in this Metrostars side. Nice turn from Ugarkovic.
Got out of that well, Melbourne City. Metrostars with a high press. Great to see them pressing Melbourne City high as well.
And now on the charge forward, Bajic, the overlapping run, Caputo! Very close for the youngster.
That's a good opportunity in the end. Well worked down the left-hand side with Bajic. I feel like Caputo had just made his run a touch too early. He made connection with the ball. He was just outside that near post.
Start again, Scotty!
You can hear Danny Greystone, the English coach of Metrostars, arrived in Australia in 2004. And played for South Adelaide, where he also coached for a number of years before heading to Cairns in the MPL. Took them to the last 16 of the Australia Cup a few years ago now. Also coached in the Melbourne Victory Youth Academy before returning to South Australia with the Metrostars. That's a good ball in for Caputo again, who shoots on the turn. Saved by Carmody.
It's a good turn there from Caputo. He used his body so well. Get the feeling he was just looking to bend it into that top far corner. In the end, too close to goalkeeper Carmody.
He became Melbourne City's youngest ever A-League goal scorer last season when he equalised late on against the Jets. Max Caputo in round 22. Only just 17 years of age. Here they come again. Saki, little touch outside. Arslan, Caputo's there. Can he find an option? Just took too long. And Hamza Saki again sees his shot deflected wide. Now the referee spotted something in there and wants a word as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're here by catering on the side there.
Caputo had gone down there. It might have been a claim for a penalty. Just there, and the defender lunging in. And it's been deflected to safety.
It was Arslan and Yakulish again involved. Ball to the back post. Ooh, little misunderstanding between McNamara and Gow. Chiradini under pressure. McNamara hooks the ball upfield. One for Nagamatsu to chase, but he's not too interested. Garkovic with his bench. Now Curtis Good. Now so many changes in the Melbourne City squad, but still so many familiar faces and lots of experience there as well. Here comes Ayubi again. The overlapping run from Walls. Ayubi decides to shoot himself. It falls for Nagamatsu. And that's where he is so dangerous, just popping up unexpected in the box.
Jamie Young had to be so sharp down to his right-hand side there. Great strike from Nagamatsu. But that all came from a fantastic press from Metrostars. They set up in a 4-4-2. They waited for Melbourne City to play into their press, into the trap. They won the ball, and then the move into transition was lightning. Down the right-hand side with Ayubi again. Into the feet of Nagamatsu. And a shot on goal.
Well, he's been a cup player this season, Nagamatsu. All 3 goals that he's scored have all come in the cup, including that winner in the Fed Cup final against the local rivals, the arch rivals, Campbelltown City. They were the 2 best clubs by a country mile in the South Australian NPL again this year. And it'll be something of a surprise to see Metrostars bundled out at home by Modbury 3-0 after winning the first semi-final leg by 3 goals to 2. So a 5-3 exit. Modbury in the end losing out to the Adelaide United NPL side 7-2 in the South Australian NPL final. Nagamatsu over the top. One for Hamish Gow to try and chase, trying to make a nuisance of himself. Oh, and now we have a dangerous free kick because Tolgai Arslan has bundled over Ren Nagamatsu. And this is a very dangerous free kick. And in Hamish Gow, Metrostars have a very good set-piece taker.
Well, you can have no arguments here, Arslan. Referee Sean Evans has absolutely no choice but to put whistle to mouth and point at the Melbourne City goal. This is a wonderful opportunity for Metrostars in a great area.
Now, Hamish Gow scored a fantastic free kick in the Fed Cup final. Austin Ayubi with the right foot is also fancying this one. There's the Melbourne City wall, and then there's a Metrostars wall as well, which might cause problems. It is Ayubi, and it flicks off the top of the wall. It did its job for Jamie Young.
It did. They had to stand tall. I was a little bit concerned they didn't have anyone laying down behind the wall, just in case he went low as they jumped there. The wall did its job, as you said, Robbie.
On the outside, on the outside.
Corner number 2 for the Metrostars. And again, it's deep to the back post. And again, Solana can't keep it in play. Let's head down to Lucas Ronaldo, who's with us this evening. Ronaldo, Lucas, how are you? How is it looking down there?
Good, boys. Evening. It's a pretty balmy evening here in Adelaide tonight. Been nice and warm today, but a bit of wind coming across. You touch on that synthetic pitch. Pretty much all of the NPL pitches across the league are synthetic nowadays, so Metro well used to it. And just on James Tembulkovsky, you mentioned he's got his quad injury. He's been on trial with Adelaide United during the final series. And chatting to a few of the players today, they reckon that injury might be a bit of overtraining after having to go between Metro's training and finals and all the rest of it. So it'd be interesting to see how much time he's able to play tonight, but he has definitely been a danger man this season, like you mentioned, Robbie, about 30 goals. So be interesting to see how much he can get on tonight.
And 5 goals in the cup as well for James Temelkovski. Thank you for that, Lucas, down on the sidelines. It has been a balmy day in Adelaide, 28 degrees, the maximum. It has been suiting the home side so far. Mind you, they went through the entire SAMPL season undefeated away from home. And their 3 losses, which came early in the cup before the semi-final defeat to Modbury, all came here at TK Shutter Reserve as the cross in towards Caputo, who's grabbing hold of McNamara.
Yeah, silly foul from Caputo there. He didn't need to give it away. City had worked their way into a good area of the pitch. Interesting, those comments about Temelkovski. It's a challenge when you go from a semi-professional environment into a professional environment. The overload factor. You're still playing games in the NPL, important games as well. So there's a mental side of it as well.
Cittadini turning inside. Oh, it might make it all the way through to the back post, but I think the referee spotting a foul by Nagamatsu on Bajic.
You can see the breeze, the strong breeze, just took that ball away from Nagamatsu. Fouled Bajic, brought him to the ground, which opened the opportunity illegally, of course. Feel the atmosphere starting to build into this game. Crowd really starting to play their part as well. The longer the game remains scoreless, the louder that home crowd will get.
Well, we have had a goal in the other game being played this evening. A foul, handball, and it was a familiar name to A-League fans. Adrian Zara, who scores from the spot to put Heidelberg in front against the Melbourne Knights. So 2 member-fed clubs going head-to-head. We will, like last season where we had 2 in the Oakley Cannons and Sydney United 58, 1 member-fed club at least in the semi-finals of the Australia Cup this year. Perhaps 2, because Metrostars have been giving a good account of themselves midway through this first half.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've given as good as they've got in these early exchanges, if not maybe a little bit more than what Melbourne City have given from a threat point of view.
Here's Hamish Gow looking to threaten again. He was again looking for Nagamatsu at the back post. Jackson Walls with the header forward. Cittadini again. Looking to dink the ball in to Nagamatsu, and then Barbiero sliding in. Referee had the whistle to the lips, decided against it. Aslan with the big switch of play for Yakolish. Manages to keep it in play just. Chance to run at Walls. Ayubi is back helping out. Then put the brakes on any quick transition there. Talk about the atmosphere building here. A sellout crowd, 3,000 hoping to see their side cap off what has been a fantastic season. Of course, they were NPL national champions back in 2014, the Metrostars. So they do know what it's about, but they've never made it this far in the Australia Cup. They've never played an A-League club before either. There's Barbiero putting the pressure on with Cittadini.
And that is the magic of the cup, isn't it, Robbie? Right there, Metrostars hosting.
Speaking about magic of the cup, Mossy. Lightning striking twice. How about that for a fantastic header from Kane Shepherd? So 2 goals in as many minutes for Heidelberg, a famous old club from Melbourne. And now Metrostars. Ooh, Barbiero bundled over, looks towards Sean Evans, who's not interested.
He had a good look at it too, Sean Evans. He was perfectly placed as well to make the decision. Barbiero just starting to have an impact on this game, getting on the ball in some really good areas. There it is again. I'm happy with that decision. I don't think Sean Evans could have pointed to the spot there. It's one of those you've seen them given, but I'm glad it wasn't on that occasion. I think that would have been unjust.
Well, that's a lovely touch from Nagamatsu for Gao. The chance to make amends, saved. And the follow-up now. Ayubi! And the Metrostars have scored. Well, a first great chance for Cameron Woodfin, denied by Jamie Long, but Austin Ayubi, from a tight angle, scores a fabulous opener here at TK Shutter Reserve, and the home crowd is in rapture.
Well, dare I say, the shutters have just come up at Shutter Reserve. Ayubi brings the house down with a wonderful strike, but look at that for a save from Jamie Young first of all. Melbourne City did not defend the second phase well. Ayubi puts his laces through it and raises the roof at Shutter Reserve.
Well, Austin Ayubi has never scored potentially a more important goal. The right winger, it's his 10th of this campaign in all competitions. But what a moment, and what a remedy for that semi-final hangover and elimination, because they really wanted to win the NPL Championship this season. There's so much talk at the club about doing the treble. They won the Premiership, they won the South Australian Cup, and they wanted to win the finals. Perhaps they'll replace that treble. No finals victory, but why not a little Australian Cup in there instead?
And the scalp of Melbourne City, no less, if they go on and get this result tonight. But it's absolutely no surprise that Austin Ayubi is the goal scorer. He's been threatening from the first minute until the 27th, when he put one into the roof of Jamie Young's net. Feel for Jamie Young. The first save was very good, down to his left-hand side. His defenders weren't on the same wavelength.
That's a great turn from Caputo, but then just a foul. McNamara getting his body in front.
It's nothing less than Metrostars deserve. They've pressed high in defence. They've hit Melbourne City in transition well. They've won the ball in that midfield area or the top third. As I said, Ayubi with Barbiero just pulling the strings behind in midfield in that number 10 role. Been very impressive.
Nagamatsu with good target play as well, looking for Chittadini, trying to run at Hall. Nagamatsu putting his body around, he's done well. Caputo back helping out, but it's Nagamatsu. I thought he'd try and catch out Jamie Young the second time in quick succession.
They're here to play, Metrostars, make no mistake. They know they're in a cup tie. They are giving more than what they're getting at the moment.
And it looks like it's a good old-fashioned classic brewing at Knight Stadium, where Gian Albano has pulled one back. So 3 goals in just over 5 minutes there. Knight Stadium, and it's Heidelberg now, 2-1 up over the Melbourne Knights. Here in South Australia, it's Metrostars leading by a goal to nil. Solana, the Metrostars captain, with the header away.
Well, Metrostars coach Danny Greystone alluded to some mental fatigue in his pre-game interview. One way to get rid of mental fatigue is to score first. They've done that. You can see the energy it's given Metrostars. Melbourne City are in for a game tonight. Of that there is no doubt.
Darkovic, Jakolic and Bajic bringing Saki into the game. Here's Jakolic again. Bajic back for Sarkolic. It's nicely done! And side netting from the Croatian.
Oh, that was enterprising play. Fantastic combination play around the box. Jakolic just tried to get that reverse swing with the outside of his boot. Didn't get enough of it to trouble Carmody in goal for Metrostars. You can see those combinations Melbourne City do get in that top third. They're just starting to come. There's some new players there. They've got to get used to playing with each other. Those combinations, when they come off, no one will be happier than Rado Vidosic.
You can see Metrostars doing pretty well there in the passes into final thirds, considering they're only got 28% of the possession at this stage, and they're nearly matching Melbourne City. They are, in terms of shots, 7 apiece with that Jakolic effort for Melbourne City, and 3 on target for each side as well. Here's Bajic again, receiving from Curtis Good. Arslan. Bajic. Saki. Hamza Saki does well. Lopane. Back with Jordan Hall. Ugarkovic. Hamza Saki, the number 8 here, always looking to make himself available. Always going towards the ball. Happy for a short pass. Give a teammate an option. Lopane with Arslan. He was looking for Saki. It's intercepted by Nagel. One of the veterans, over 300 matches in South Australian MPL. For the left back, Scott Nagel. Carmody. Again, it was long. They're not afraid to look long to Nagamatsu, who's a good target and has already caused Suprayon and Curtis Good a few problems.
Yeah, it seems when they've got the ball at the back in build-up, they're prepared to go long. But when they win the ball in transition, that's where they've been causing Melbourne City the most problems.
And they've won it back again. Nagel, has he managed to keep that in play? He has. So here they come again. Oh, and the cut back towards Nagamatsu. Chittadini takes over. Lopane does well and keeps it in play. But McNamara, positive defending on the front foot, steals it away from Caputo. You really can see, Mossy, how comfortable they are on this surface. They have confidence in what the ball's going to do on their footing.
Yeah, it's a different style of football. It really is. It becomes almost like the old style indoor football, where you can use your toe a lot more and play in tight areas.
Arslan looking to lead the City transition again. Jakolic. Bajic with the underlapping run. Jakolic just pushed off the ball. Jackson Walls charging upfield. He's got support from Barbiero. Solana is captain. Woodford. Mustn't forget, of course, that this Metrostars side is only semi-professional at best. All these players have full-time jobs or students. Train a few times a week, and this really is the stuff of dreams to be up against a fully professional premiers of Australia, former champions, 2016 Australia Cup winners, Melbourne City.
Yeah, it's a night of nights for a lot of these players, and it's a stage that, you know, you train and work so hard to be on. And when you get the opportunity, you've got to grab it with both hands. The likes of Fabian Barbiero has been there, done that. His time is over in the A-League. These younger players need one good performance to get your opportunity.
Saki, was that a challenge by McNamara? Saki goes again. And now the cross in. Cleared by Nagel. I mentioned many of these players, particularly the youngsters, have recently been in the ranks of Adelaide United. We heard James Temelkovski's been training with them. Well, Scott Nagel played against Malaga in Adelaide United's first ever game at Adelaide Oval many a year ago. He says when he saw Craig Goodwin show up at the club, he realised his days were numbered and decided to go and try his luck in the NPL.
Good judge of a player then. Sad to see Craig Goodwin go as well from the A-League. He's just added so much, hasn't he, and matured so much in the last few years in particular. His leadership, not just the way he plays the game, but his leadership has really struck me. Obviously took that to the world stage and performed so well for the Socceroos. A big loss to our league.
Lupane with Hall. Going to a Saudi Super League, which of course you can catch on 10 play these days, so Australian audiences can keep abreast of what Cristiano Ronaldo and all the superstars that have travelled there recently, along with Craig Goodwin in the Saudi League. Woodfin, who was playing with Chattanooga FC in the USA before getting the call to come and play in South Australia. Here is Nagel up the line for Cittadini.
Just get the sense that Metrostars still haven't allowed Melbourne City to settle. They've had some good passages, don't get me wrong, Melbourne City, but they still haven't settled and got a rhythm about them in possession. A lot of that is down to the way Metrostars are pressing them, the aggression in the contest, and the way that Danny Greystone has set them up defensively has been very impressive.
Ayubi's done well again. Barbiero out wide with Hamish Gow. He's got Jackson Walls outside him. A little 1-2. Gowie was looking for the return pass from Nagamatsu, but the break might be on here for City. Lovely touch. Caputo's waiting in the middle. Hamza Saki still going. Oh, and Caputo. In fact, it was Tolgai Arslan with a fantastic run. Flicked the ball into the middle, and Caputo's put it just wide.
Well, I thought for sure and certain Arslan was going to go himself there for goal. He's flicked it with the outside of his foot into the path of Max Caputo, who will not want to see that on replay. That is a very, very basic miss for the youngster. It did come quickly in his defence, but still he was well set. The ball was at a good height. Just a side-footed into Carmody's goal, but it wasn't to be.
Not convinced it was intentional either from Arslan. I think he was going perhaps the little toey, and it just skewed off the side, but can't really be too many excuses for Max Caputo there.
No, and the other thing to point out there, that if Arslan was trying to be cheeky with the finish, why wasn't the inside of the foot? Because that was the higher percentage finish.
Just over 5 minutes to go, and what has been a thoroughly entertaining first half, and Yakulic and Caputo might be in again here, City. Max Caputo taking it wide. He's been forced too wide, so has to come and look for plan B. Perhaps even plan C with Bajic and now Ugarkovic. Metrostars have a chance to get back and get organised. Arslan again with Jordan Hall. Now Suprayan. Good. For Hamza Saki. Yakolish looking for the 1-2 with Caputo. Suprayan with Jordan Hall again. Just 4 appearances in the A-League last season for Jordan Hall. He gets his chance at right back today, with Callum Talbot just back from that 1-1 draw with Tajikistan with the under-23s. Arslan, no way through, well defended by Hamish Gow. Ayubi, the goal scorer, with Jackson Walls. Ooh, well, that's not such a good defensive pass from Ayubi. He's put his teammate Hamish Gow under pressure, and now Aziz Bayic was trying to charge his way through, but that door shut very quickly.
We've seen Aziz Bayic do some wonderful things in exactly that position, both the club in Scotland and the Socceroos. Almost had the goal of the World Cup. It wasn't quite to be, but gee, that would have been certainly in the conversation for greatest World Cup goals had he scored that one. I can't remember the opposition, Robbie, but he certainly made his presence felt.
Might have been a side that went on to achieve something, I think.
Argentina, maybe.
Maybe.
Messi in a Socceroos shirt.
Oh, what a goal. It almost was.
What would that have done to our tournament? Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Don't go there, Mossy. Don't go there. And now, Yakolish onto the right foot, deflected. Good adjustment and a good save from Isaac Carmody.
Yeah, they're just spending a little bit more time in and around that Metrostars box now, Melbourne City. Starting to tighten the screws a little bit. That's a good save down to his right-hand side, Carmody. Just to keep Melbourne City at bay.
Here they come again. They're starting to apply the pressure now. Carmody comes and claims over Curtis Good. Had a couple of saves to make. Isaac Carmody, 28 years of age. Very experienced goalkeeper. Now Nagel. Looking for the run of Cittadina. Cittadini's got it ahead of Ugarkovic. Just not quite on the same wavelength. Oh, now is he won a corner there? No.
You just mentioned Talbot, Callum Talbot coming back from 23s duty. Congratulations to Tony Vidmar and the 23s. Qualifying for the Asian Cup, so important. Our underage teams, national teams are playing in major tournaments for their development.
Yeah, 7-2 win over Laos, and then 1-1 with Tajikistan. Was here intercepted Hamish Gow, and it just didn't have the legs for Nagamatsu. Barbiero gets it back though. Gow again looking for Barbiero. He's already scored one fantastic goal in this Australian Cup run. His eyes were lighting up for number 2 there.
He was in two minds, wasn't he? Take the touch on the run, get the ball in front of him for the strike, or let it come down for the volley. He took the latter option, and it just gave the defender too much time to get across. The wind, I think, held the ball up a little bit as well. They're the moments. Gee, imagine if Barbiero had a chance on goal there. Put the cat right amongst the pigeons.
Over 90 matches and double-figure goals for Adelaide United. Fabian Barbiero. And of course, the Socceroos cap under Pim Verbeek against Kuwait back in 2009. And still going. at 39 years of age. Jordan Hall back with Jamie Young. 1 minute of stoppage time announced here at TK Shutter Reserve, where the cup set is alive and well. The South Australian NPL premiers, Metrostars, leading Melbourne City by 1-0, courtesy of Austin Ayubi, and his 10th of the season in the 27th minute. And Isaac Carmody in the Metrostars goal hasn't probably been unduly worked. He probably was expecting to have a busy night. That hasn't been really the case so far. That 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half is up. Sean Evans says let's keep going for at least another second, but that's all. So it is half-time in South Australia as the quarterfinals of the 2023 Australia Cup get underway, and the goals have been flowing here and in Melbourne. We have registered our 100th Australian Cup goal of the season, but the big news is that Austin Ayubi and his goal in the 27th minute is the difference here at TK Shutter Reserve. Half-time, the cup set is on. It's the Metrostars 1, leading Melbourne City 0.
Robbie, you said it, the cup set is on the cards. This is what we came to see. The Metrostars, this team from Adelaide, taking it to the big boys. It is 1-0 at half-time. We'll be back to wrap it all up and look ahead to the second half right after this. We'll also bring you the goals from the other game in Melbourne. 3 goals in that one. Plenty to break down right after this.
You might
Well, it is an Australian Cup quarter-final cup set potentially on the cards. How about this? An absolutely ripping goal there from Austin Ayubi. He's got jet shoes and he's got a rocket of a boot too. Boom! Into the back of the net, and it is the Metrostars leading the way 1-0 against the reigning three-time A-League premiers, Melbourne City, and don't they love every moment of that? Welcome back to the halftime show. I'm Scott McKinnon, joined by Phil Moss and Luke Wilkshire. Now, you reminded me, Mossy, when you came back in, our tips. So what did you say? You said, of course, they're just going to be too classy, Melbourne City. But wow, how good is that to see from the Metrostars? They've arrived and they've turned it right up. They're taking it to the big boys.
They are. They're pressing high. The energy is good. The strength in the contest is good. And the coach spoke before the game about a bit of mental fatigue. The best way to get rid of mental fatigue is score a goal because it gives you energy, it gives you belief. And Ayubi, no surprise that he was a goal scorer. He was causing all sorts of problems early in that first half. And Melbourne City have got a job, Lukey, in the second half.
They do. Look, full credit to Metrostars. You know, the press and the goal come from the high press, winning the ball, playing the ball forward. Fantastic finish. You know, full credit to them. They've taken it to them. Melbourne City haven't been able to deal with it at the moment. We know there's been moments where you've seen them dominate, but they haven't really created too much. Can Metrostars, though, with all that energy and high pressing, can they maintain that now? It's another 45 minutes. They've had a long season. Can they keep that intensity and tempo?
Well, maybe they should look at the goal at half-time in the sheds because that'll get them up. We're going to have a look at it now. And it was just the speed, wasn't it, guys? They managed to get through. Chittadini had a crack. He kind of Chittadini's himself when he had a look at the goal, but bang, follow-up. I mean, that's a sweet strike, isn't it, Lukey?
You think the chance is gone.
Yeah.
When Chittadini goes in and Young has saved it, you think the moment's gone. They get numbers back, Melbourne City. But credit to Ayubi, he's taken a good first touch and he's backed himself and he's hit it like an absolute rocket.
He has. He's struck it so sweetly. But the disappointing part from Rado Vidosic's point of view is how Ayubi was in that sort of space inside the box for the rebound off Jamie Young's save. So he's going to have to sort some things out at half-time, Rado Vidosic, around those sort of moments, and also the space in midfield in transition. When Melbourne City lose the ball, Metrostars are in acres of space, and Fabian Barbiero is pulling the strings in transition to attack.
And the speed of Ayubi as well. We saw that a couple of times. When he gets free, he's got some serious gas. Let's have a look at some of the chances. And set-piece time, though, Lukey, you got to say that there was a bit of class there from Melbourne City, but the keeper managing to keep them at bay. But, gee, chances too. I mean, they're having some cracks, aren't they, the Metrostars? A lot of the chances in the first half have gone their way. You do, though, feel as though Melbourne City are coming in a hurry, don't you think, Mossy?
Yeah, they're starting to tighten the screws back into that first half. They were spending more time around the Metrostars box. You know, Max Caputo's impressed me. He hasn't scored a goal yet, but he uses his body well. He reads the build-up well and gets himself in good positions. Jakalic, I think, has been a threat. And Saki and Arslan, I think, have started to show some real combinations off Caputo as well.
What's your thoughts on that one? Do you think Arslan was going for goal, Lukey, or what do you think?
I do.
You do?
I think he's scuffed it and it's almost caught Caputo by surprise.
Let's have a look at this just in terms of possession. I mean, 70% to Melbourne City. The shot's 11-7, but it is the Metrostars still hanging on there. 1-0. Can they go on with it? We certainly do hope so. We've got another game to swing into as well, don't we? We're going to talk about the Melbourne Knights and Heidelberg United, and this has been a ripping contest. We've had this on split screen tonight. Every time we look, there's a body down, there's a bit of beef, a bit of aggro. It started with that and a handball and the goal, but geez, Heidelberg United then went on with it, and it was their man Adrian Zara who was doing all the hard work. Luke, we watched this one. How about this? Soldiers on and sets it up.
He did. It was fantastic. Great penalty, composure from the captain, and then this little bit of play. It's a great bit of combination play. And this ball in is superb. The time of the run as well from Shepherd with a pinpoint header. An absolute cracker of a goal. And like I say, we're lucky we've got the split screen to see both these games because between the two of them, there's been non-stop action. And yeah, hopefully people at home have been able to do the same.
That's a really accomplished finish, isn't it? Like really composed, accomplished from Kane Shepherd. Knew exactly what to do, put the ball back from the same direction the cross came.
And then it was Albano, who is their go-to man when it comes to scoring goals. He had another crack minutes after that. So this one, you'd imagine, is in the balance. It is going to be a ripping second half in that. But let's get to TK Shutter Reserve, shall we? Lucas Ronaldo is there. No doubt, mate, they're very excited at the moment. Who are you with at the moment?
Sure are, Scott. I'm here with club legend Michael Peroni. And Michael, what a first half. 1-0 up against Melbourne City. How are you feeling?
Yeah, very excited, obviously, Lucas. And, yeah, look, no real surprise that the boys have put up a performance like they have. Just maybe a bit disappointing they haven't had more shots from distance. They've had quite a bit of possession in the final third, but it's always going to be a really, really tough ask. And we've seen Melbourne City, obviously, have a couple of opportunities, and now it's how well they can cope with the second half.
I think you were saying to me off camera before that you got a few of the club legends with you. What's the atmosphere been like with you guys? Are you guys having a few beers celebrating this first half already, or how you feeling?
Well, I knew I was coming on here, so I promised my wife I wouldn't do that, obviously. But no, it's been really great. The atmosphere is obviously really good here tonight, a couple of thousand people. It's a really big occasion for the club. They've had a really, really great year, obviously. Bitterly disappointed with what happened in the final series, but to see so many kids here as well tonight and the local football community is just fantastic for Metrostars.
And you've been involved with this club a long time. Have you ever seen TK Shutter Reserve with this many people?
No, we were talking off camera about this, obviously. You know, 10, 12, 15 years ago when I was playing here, you know, if we got 300, 400, 500, it was a great day for us. But to see so many people tonight, I don't think hopefully we will see it again in the future in the next couple of years if we can have another run like this.
Maybe even potentially a semi-final. Thanks for your time, Michael. Back to you guys in the studio.
Michael Peroni, he'll be cracking the Peronis, won't he, if they go on with it in the second half? Question is, can they do it? A massive second half coming your way after this. Of course, we'll splice in the goals from the other game as well. But it is the Metrostars leading Melbourne City 1-0. Massive second half coming your way right after this. Don't go away.
TK Shadow Reserve.
Rado Vidosic has a big 45 minutes coming up for his side, the reigning premiers of the Australian A-League. Melbourne City are currently trailing South Australian NPL side Metrostars by a 1-0. Austin Ayubi with the only goal of the game, the number 42 in the 27th minute, rifling the ball into the roof of the net for Danny Greystone's men. And for the moment, the dream is very much alive. Melbourne City, in 13 previous cup matches against NPL opposition, have never lost. 13 victories, 13 qualifications for the next round. They, along with Sydney FC, the only former champions left in the competition. Will we see a new name etched on that trophy? Will it be for the first time an NPL club? Well, we're going to have at least one member-fed club in the semi-finals, perhaps two, if it stays this way at TK Shutter Reserve in front of a sellout crowd for the Metrostars. Phil Moss, they lead by 1-0. They haven't exactly ridden their luck either. You'd say they deserve just about every bit of it.
Yeah, they certainly do, Robbie. That was a fantastic first half, but as Lukey Wilkshire mentioned at half-time, it's whether they can sustain that energy. Coach Danny Greystone alluded to some mental fatigue before the game. That was certainly put to bed by scoring that goal. That gave them energy, gave them belief, but it's how long they can sustain this sort of energetic performance for that will be key, and whether Melbourne City have made a bit of a tactical tweak at half-time that can help get them back into this game. Huge 45 minutes of football ahead of us.
Well, I mentioned there are 8 new signings in the starting 11 for Melbourne City. Only one of the starting 11 played in last season's grand final demolition, drubbing at the hands of the Central Coast Mariners. That remarkable afternoon's football. You could say it's all changed since then, but a club like Melbourne City, despite the absentees this evening, they remain a big, proud club in Australian football with incredible success in recent seasons, and suffering a first ever defeat to a member-fed club like the Metrostars would not be received well back in Victoria.
Nor at the headquarters of the City Football Group. They are part of a massive conglomerate now. The expectations are through the roof every time they step onto the pitch.
And they've lived up to those expectations in recent years as well, of course. But with success comes change. Your coaches are wanted. Patrick Kisnorbo left. Your players are wanted. Aidan O'Neill, Geordie Boss, Marco Tilio. As the ball in, headed away by Walls at the near post. Nagamatsu rising as well, doing his share of the defensive duties, as is Bayich. Back to Jamie Young. Spent the last 2 seasons at Western United. Picked up a championship medal for himself there as well, that outstanding season 2 years ago. Little 1-2. It's Nagel winning the foot race there. Now Woodfin just wouldn't sit for him. A heavy touch. Hamza Saki with Hall, Suprayan, and now Curtis Good. You can hear Rado Vidosic. Patience. Patience. Ayubi closing down, and a foul by Alessandro Lopani on Woodfin. Alessandro Lopani a little bit bemused by the whistle.
You just mentioned Rado Vidosic and the instructions he was giving out then. He was also talking to Ugarkovic, don't go in front of them. And what he means is don't drop the other side of the press, stay in midfield so the pass then penetrates Metrostars' frontline press. That's where you take defenders out of the game and then start to create overloads.
Jordan Hall with Ugarkovic under pressure. He got away from Woodfin only just. Hamza Saki. Looking for the big switch of play, only finds the head of Austin Ayubi, who does well with Jackson Walls. Claiming he was fouled, one number 22 on another. And the Metrostars co-vice captain, along with Fabian Barbiero, wins the free kick. And it's taken quickly for Nagamatsu, who's got there ahead of Suprayan. Nagamatsu still, and Suprayan does well. He's just arrived from 2 seasons in Bulgarian football with Plovdiv. As Samuel Suprayan, having come through the ranks at the Rennes Football Academy. Plenty of top flight French football experience for him too. Over the top for Caputo to chase. McNamara got there first, no free kick, corner to follow.
He did well there, Caputo, from a standing start. Maybe caught just a touch on his heels, but he still made something of the situation to get his side a corner.
First of the second half for Melbourne City. Their 7th of the match so far. Arslan, it was a glancing header at the near post from Yakolish. Interestingly, Yakolish not a visa player, the Croatia under-21 international. Does that fall in? Caputo was the target, it's cleared. His father, who spent 15 years living in Melbourne, means that he's got the Aussie passport, Yakolish, and importantly, after the big news coming out of the camp, well, not officially yet, that Andrew Naboo could be out for much of the season, if not the entire season, with what sounds like it's an Achilles injury and a very serious one. Well, we could see a Brazilian about to fill one of those visa spots, another of those visa spots, which of course Yakolish doesn't fill. And that could be the 26-year-old winger from Corinthians, Leo Natel, who we've heard, certainly rumours around, that he is just awaiting the paperwork to go through.
Well, first and foremost, if that is true about Andrew Naboo, that is a huge hammer blow for Melbourne City and Rado Vidosic. So you know the quality that Naboo has. If he can replace him, if he is out for the season, he can replace him with a player of that ilk. Certainly goes some way to fill in the gap. Matt Leckie, of course, coming back from Socceroos duty with a knee injury.
Aziz Bage wasn't happy with the challenge, the initial one, I think, from Jackson Walls, who got out of the way, but Austin Ayubi wasn't too impressed. Jamie Young has come in to do a bit of housekeeping. Oh, now there's been a little bit of afters with Tolgay Arslan as well on Austin Ayubi. Now, what's the referee made of all this? It's a yellow card for Jackson Walls. Now, he was the initial foul on Aziz Bage. Let's have a look now. Now here, Nagamatsu thought he was fouled by Bage. No foul there. And Bage taking offence at that one.
Yeah, not too happy Aziz Bage, was he? You can see he's maybe got a slight point there, although the passage hadn't come to a halt yet. That's where you've got to be careful. You go forward to forward. You leave a big decision in the hands of the referee if you're prepared to do that.
That's well defended again by McNamara. The young central defenders had a very good game at the back. Well, nothing like a bit of fire at the start of the second half.
Well, the thing is, Robbie, too, those flashpoints can often work in the favour of the team playing at the lower level, because it gets them fired up, and what it can do is frustrate Melbourne City. A couple of things they can't afford tonight is for them to hope things will happen. Melbourne City, they have to make things happen. They have to show the initiative, and they have to stay patient and keep their heads.
Well, they're not used to being in this situation. Melbourne City. Let's head back down to Lucas Ronaldo, who's on the sidelines there and probably had an eyewitness account of all that shenanigans, Lucas.
Yeah, couldn't have got much closer to us here. It wasn't just kicking off on the pitch. Scott Jamieson, of course, retired at the back end of last season. Now the coaching staff of Melbourne City, him and Danny Greystone were getting right into it just on the middle of the benches, and that sort of altercation seemed to carry on for a fair bit. Austin Ayubi also getting into it with Tolga Aslan and Aziz Bayic, so it's starting to get a little bit tense down here on the sideline.
As there's almost another opening there with Nagamatsu with a lovely little back heel after exchanging passes with Woodfin. It almost fell to Barbiero. And they're showing a lot of courage, a lot of confidence as well, Metrostars. That was really nice football.
Yeah, it certainly was. Nagamatsu is central to everything good that's happening in and around the Melbourne City box. It was only inches away from being a brilliant passage of play for them.
Surprised, Mossy, to hear that Scott Jamieson on the bench was involved in a bit of to and fro with the opposition bench.
No, I'm not, funnily enough, Robbie. Not at all. It's going to take a little while for him to get the player out of his system, no doubt.
This is a good run by Ugarkovic. He was looking for Lopane. Now, Hamish Gow, as Metrostars look to break forward at the other end. It's well defended again by Hamza Saki. He looks a very handy pickup. The 27-year-old is on loan from Auxerre in the French second division, but he played 27 matches last season in the top flight, which meant, of course, against the likes of Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. And the quality there, so to see a 27-year-old on loan from that league. Yakulish is another one from the French second division on loan with Melbourne City. We know the quality and the pedigree of Tolgay Arslan as well. Picked up some handy footballers.
Yeah, they have, and crucial to their signing as well as their quality is what they can pass on to the younger players at Melbourne City, help with their development.
As Metrostars are on the front foot again here. Chiradini trying to make something happen. Nagel's crossed in, Nagamatsu! Well, he is a threat in the air, and he's been a threat all night here this evening.
He has. He just found himself outside the near post, which made the angle of the header so much more difficult. Still, fantastic opening for Metrostars.
39-year-old Fabian Barbiero leading the charge. Fighting for every ball. They don't want their season to end. The Metrostars, not here at home. Melbourne City have other ideas. Max Caputo missed a great opportunity in the first half, an open goal that he steered just wide after good lead-up play from this man, Arslan, who goes down under the challenge from Gow. Referee says play on.
Boys on the couch. Excuse me, Robbie. At half-time, we're backing you, saying that Arslan was going for the target instead of flicking it across goal to Max Caputo. I'm still undecided.
I'm sure in the post-game show we can have another look at the replay. Here is Suprayan with Ugarkovic. Arrived after just one season at Wellington Phoenix.
The thing to point out, though, with that Arslan chance is the longer this game goes, the longer the score stays like this. That was a huge moment. Huge moment.
Spajic over the top for Caputo, who's still full of running. Lopani there as well, switch of play. Doesn't have the legs to make it all the way across. Nagel, header's clear. Hamza Saki with Ugarkovic again. Arslan, nice touch for Ugarkovic. Lopani. Curtis Good. Spajic skips away from Ayubi. Ugarkovic again. They're moving the ball around well. They're holding on to possession. But can they add a little cutting edge to it? Not on that occasion. Oh, and Suprayan loses out to Nagamatsu. Little touch back. Barbiero. Great switch of play for Cittadini. Nagel ahead of him. Cittadini still going. It's a lovely turn outside for Nagel. The cross in. Nagamatsu is there again.
Well, what a chance this is. Wonderful, enterprising play to get into that position. But again, the near post runner gets outside the near post instead of holding their ground. That could have made all the difference. But Nagamatsu, in the early stages of that, holding the ball up, bringing Barbiero in, he played a wonderful switch of play. You called it, Robbie. It was brilliant vision, brilliant execution. Oh, so close to 2-0.
Melbourne City getting a real test of their Australia Cup credentials here this evening. Over an hour played. They still trail by 1-0. Spajic, Curtis Good taking the bit between the teeth. Denied again though. Cittadini back doing the defensive duties. Arslan with Ugarkovic. Hamza Saki. Jordan Hall with the Moroccan again. All the way back, City, who switched to that 3 at the back when in possession. This is a nice run by Jakolic. The cross in. Jakolic is in an offside position. Oh, as Arslan can't finish anyway and blasts the ball over the crossbar, but he knew the game was up.
Yeah, you're right, and that's an example of going to 3 at the back and how that can cut apart Metrostars, because you get that extra number in midfield. It was very well executed until the final stage there by Melbourne City.
It's Aziz Spajic who has the role of piston up and down the left flank. He's there still wrestling with Austin Ayubi. No love lost between those two. Aziz Spajic will be relishing that challenge, of course. He's an experienced Socceroo with World Cup experience, as we chatted about in the first half, and every young buck that comes up against him will want to prove and earn their stripes as well. Jackson Walls now. It's back with Jamie Young, who very coolly plays it out with Ugarkovic, but can't find Lopani. McNamara straight back in. Nagamatsu with the chance. Oh, what a save! Brilliant save from Jamie Young.
Oh, Nagamatsu, if they don't go on and win this game, He will have sleepless nights over that chance, but you've got to give credit to Jamie Young. See how he stays big here. He stays up, keeps his eyes on the ball, and he gets a foot to it. That's brilliant goalkeeping. And we know Jamie Young is one of the best shot stoppers in the A-League and has been for many, many seasons. That is a brilliant save.
Well, he thought he had a 4th cup goal of the season, did Ren Nagamatsu there. Now the corner, taken short. And offside against Ayubi. Frustrating one.
Well, that's a letdown and a let off for Melbourne City. That's schoolboy stuff. Fortunately for Metrostars, but what a chance. We can talk about how great a save it was. At the end of the day, Nagamatsu shouldn't have given Jamie Young the opportunity to get his foot to it. Gee whiz, 64th minute. Melbourne City potentially going down 2-0. That would have been a mountain to climb.
I know, Hammer. It'll be worth it.
Barbiero does well with Cameron Woodfin. Nice little shimmy through midfield, inviting Nagel forward. Cittadini. Woodfin again, and Metrostars decide to spread the play and get Melbourne City to do some running. Ayubi turning away from Bajic. Jamie Young is the busier of the 2 goalkeepers at the moment. We haven't seen Isaac Carmody up the other end for a while.
That's right, the only save of real quality I can remember was from that header. It was Yakolish in the first half from the corner. And that has been all Jamie Young. They've got to be careful of too. Melbourne City is getting too stretched while they're chasing this goal. If they open up, Metrostars have shown they've got the quality to hurt them.
Advantage played by Sean Evans as Hamza Saki was mowed down by Cittadini. Here's Ugarkovic. Lopane. Back with Curtis Good, Supriyan. Ball with Yakolish, who's moved from left flank to right flank in this second half. With that little switch in formation. Too casual from Aziz Bajic. And the first signs perhaps of cramp or fatigue starting to make their presence felt in the Metrostars ranks. Certainly the intensity goes up a notch when you're playing A-League opposition.
Yeah, it does, and Greystone will have to use his bench to freshen things up. Rado Vidosic may need to use his bench to get some flair and creativity into the lineup. Terry Antona springs to mind.
As Barbiero gets it over the top for Cittadini. Is this the moment? Difficult angle, but he had no support. Entitled to go for it. He has earned a corner off the knees of Jamie Young.
Yeah, spot on. No option there for Cittadini but to take Jamie Young on at his near post. You can see it broke so quickly in transition, no one else could catch up to Cittadini, I should say, I beg your pardon. You're not beating Jamie Young from there, not a chance. Again, another example of Metrostars getting in behind this Melbourne City defence.
Down in front of the bench, warming up there. Oh, was into a really dangerous area. Nagamatsu has stayed down, holding his head, as City try to break through Hamza Saki. And the referee, as Jordan Hall was looking to launch City down the right flank, has decided to call a halt to proceedings.
Here we see the corner flung into that near post area. I don't think there's anything too much in that. Nagamatsu, as we see him attacking the ball. Goes to ground. It might have been a follow through there. Accidental, of course, but maybe clipped him in the back of the head. Never much fun when you cop a boot, stray boot in the back of the head.
You see how physical it is in those corners as well. Players running in every direction.
Create organised chaos. Robbie at set pieces.
Sounds very sinister, Mossy.
Nothing sinister in it at all. The objective, score a goal.
Now Ren Nagamatsu. Well, he hasn't been on the score sheet. He probably should have been with that fantastic opportunity one-on-one with Jamie Young, but he's had a very good match all the same for a 25-year-old who's not played at this level. Arrived 2 years ago from the Japanese 5th division, and there's not a prolific goal scorer either, even if he may be a scorer of important goals this season. That would have been the case there. 20 minutes left. How long before one of these two coaches decides it's time for change? Big switch of play, but Jakolic is offside. I don't think he agrees.
Well, the body language probably tells us what he's saying to the assistant referee, rather than reading any lips, but there's no excuse for being offside in those situations when you can see right along the defensive line of the opposition.
Ayubi back with his captain, Anthony Solana. He digs it up only as far as Bajic, but just gets away from him. Woodfin not happy with himself or his teammate there as he passed that into touch. Woodfin, who, like Nagel, was here, is Caputo. Ooh, trying to run at Solana. It was a good idea, but it was very well defended.
Very well defended, and it had to be. Otherwise, Caputo was one-on-one.
Nagamatsu coming back from an offside position. I was going to say, for Cameron Woodfin, the American number 11 for the Metrostars, he played against Real Betis in a pre-season match for Chattanooga FC back in the US, and like Nagel, this is just to give you an idea of the players and the level we're at here. Those matches remain incredible opportunities, indelible marks in the history of these amateur players, and this will too. The opportunity to play against professionals doesn't come round every season, doesn't come round every career for many of these players. And they are certainly making the most of this opportunity. It is the beauty of the cup, it's the beauty of football, the international game, the world game. Here's Lopane. Saved by Carmody.
And the other moments, Rado Vidosic will be trying to get the message through to his players. The right decisions need to be made. Work your way into that part of the pitch. It would have to have been a wonder strike from there. Lopane to find the back of the net.
Now there's cramp there for Austin Ayubi, who's struggling to get back into the game. This is where a professional side's fitness can also start to show through, even if they are in pre-season. Hall. Jakolic into the area. Gets past Gao. Arslan. With Hall again. Jakolic down the line. Arslan wants it in the middle. Tolgay Arslan looking for a little 1-2 with Lopane. nothing going. Hamish Gow comes away with the ball. Nagamatsu, clever little touch. And I think maybe with the help of a hand in bringing the ball under control.
There's a look on some of the Metrostars' faces of, let's hang on. Can they run this game out?
Now, Caputo, just wide, he took it early. He liked Nagamatsu. There's plenty of running.
Yeah, that was unlucky from Caputo. He takes a strike early, which almost catches Carmody out. Just couldn't quite find the target. This is going to be critical now for Greystone to use his bench well if they are to hold on to this result and potentially grab a second. Melbourne City, you feel just about to start tightening those screws. Really going for it.
Well, this last 15 minutes is where they are going to have to hang on. Do see some tired legs, some tired faces out there as well for Metrostars. There is movement down on the sidelines as well. Terry Antonis looks like he's about to come on after not playing a single match last season at the Western Sydney Wanderers. He has made the move to bolster the ranks. It's over the top, and the flag finally goes up for offside. There's no VAR, so it can go up straight away if the player's offside. And that change is going to come now. It was Hamza Saki making that run down the flank. And it's Alessandro Lopani, another who was at the Western Sydney Wanderers last season, who makes way. So it's a third cup appearance off the bench for his new side. After the 3-2 over the Oakley Cannons and the 3-0 over the Wellington Phoenix, it's not going to be, not at this stage anyway. 3 goals for Melbourne City. They'd settled for 2. Terry Antonis into the contest.
Off. Number 21, Alessandro Lapine. No, Terry Antonis, number 17.
Again, shows you the quality that they can bring in. Another Socceroo with 3 caps to his name for Terry Antonis. And importantly, Asian Champions League football, Mossy, coming up for Melbourne City. They played, well, 2 seasons ago now, but when all their group stage matches were played in 2 weeks because of COVID, it was a very, very difficult situation. This is going to be their first continental campaign with home matches as well. They've been drawn against Ventforet Kofu of Japan, who are Emperor's Cup winners, but currently in the 2nd division. Zhejiang of China, and Buriram United of Thailand. So 3 big Asian footballing countries.
But a very winnable group as well. So the challenge is there for Melbourne City to navigate the logistics that are the Asian Champions League. It's a wonderful competition. Still not given the credit I think it deserves in this country, but nevertheless a magnificent competition.
And you can catch that too on Paramount Plus and 10 play. As of next week, the Central Coast Mariners and MacArthur FC are involved in the AFC Cup as well. First time the A-League has representatives in that continental competition as well. The Mariners start against Terengganu away in Malaysia next Wednesday. And MacArthur, they're in Myanmar against Shan United.
Well, that's interesting with Abbassad, the interim manager at the Mariners, because he knows Malaysian football quite well. So will it be Abbassad that leads the Mariners for that game, or will they have a permanent replacement for Nick Montgomery in the technical area?
Well, there are lots of rumours abounding at the moment. There's one sitting on the bench post-match with you as well. And Luke Wiltshire, might have to ask him the question. He was, of course, at the Mariners last year as one of the assistant coaches to Nick Montgomery. We've heard the names of Warren Moon, Ufuk Talay as well, Ben Khan, who's on the bench tonight in Victoria at the moment against Heidelberg with the Melbourne Knights.
I believe John Hutchinson has ruled himself out early in the process. I thought he might have been putting his hand up, but he's over in Japan with Kevin Muscat.
Arslan is dropped. Shot is blocked. Asaki! Oof. Well, that had some real pace about it, didn't it?
Really did. Fantastic technique. A bit of reverse swing, bit of dip, bit of topspin, and plenty of power. It wasn't too far off, even though Carmody's body language doesn't suggest he was worried. Still a great strike.
Well, the ooh from the crowd suggests that it was close. I saw a photo earlier today on social media, Mossy, of a certain Besart Berisha doing a bit of coaching at Yokohama F. Marinos at the moment as well.
Yeah, shadowing his old boss, Kevin Muscat, who's doing wonderful things over there in Japan with Yokohama F. Marinos. Just going back to the Mariners situation, I'm not saying this just because he is going to be sharing a couch, but I would love to see Luke Wilkshire get an opportunity as a head coach in the A-League. I think he's done a magnificent apprenticeship in the NPL with Wollongong Wolves. He's worked with the junior national team, senior national team for a camp. Wonderful experience as a player.
Now, 10 minutes to go, possibly. We could, of course, have extra time if necessary, and the 39 years of Fabian Barbiero are starting to take their toll. He said to Lucas Ronaldo earlier that he's treated every game like it could be his last. Well, a career, I guess, has to come to a close at some point, but it's looking like there could be another game yet to come, and I think it is Fabian Barbiero who's going to make way. It is Fabian Barbiero who comes off, and it's another 20-year-old in Alessio Melisi who comes into the game, the number 33. 3 goals this year in 26 appearances in all competitions for Metrostars.
Well, Fabian Barbiero can be very pleased with his night's work. I thought he's really led the team around the park. Really injected himself, particularly in that first half. His impact during transition was fantastic. But once 39-year-old legs start cramping, there is no coming back from that.
Nagamatsu with a little touch off for Cameron Woodfin. Looking for the big switch of play. Can't find Chittadini, but Hamish Gow has it back again. Woodfin, Nagamatsu. He played Hamish Gow into a tight spot, surrounded by City Blue.
He did, Robbie, but the point is there's no desperation in the way Metrostars are playing. There's a swagger, there's a confidence.
And Suprayan has been dispossessed for a second time. Back out, Nagamatsu. Oh, well, he had an option easy to his left. Didn't find him. And now City look to break forward. Arslan with Bajic. The cross from Antonis is behind for a corner. So, Tolgai Arslan with the disappointing corner to the near post. Cleared by Walls. There's a bit of cramp in those Metrostar ranks at the moment, but they are hanging on. Hamza Saki over the top for Terry Antonis. It's a good cross! And it's an equaliser in the 84th minute from Curtis Good. One of the few familiar faces for Melbourne City fans in this starting 11. And it's the big central defender who spares the blushes with just over 5 minutes left to play.
What about that for a ball from Hamza Saki? The weight on that was absolutely pinpoint and brilliant. If that's a sign of things to come from him this season, Melbourne City fans are in for a treat. Great run by Antonis, great cross into the middle for Curtis Good to do the rest. But gee whiz, that is absolutely threading the eye of the needle from Hamza Saki. Really creative and absolute brilliance from him.
Well, he is a fantastic footballer, Curtis Good. A rock at the back for Melbourne City, and he pops up every now and again with a very important goal as well. And that one is just that, every bit of it. Melbourne City, in 13 previous matches against NPL opposition in the Australia Cup, never lost. And they were staring defeat down the barrel. Now, update from the other game where Heidelberg is still leading the Melbourne Knights by 2-1, but they are without Anthony Lesiotis, who's been sent off for a second bookable offence that you saw there. Not too many complaints, but disappointment for him. Oh, as the ball to the back post. Is there going to be more drama here? Hamza Saki, because having held on for so long, that equalising goal might just be a hammer blow for Metrostars.
Well, given the number of players who are cramping and starting to struggle physically, the last thing they need is extra time. That's exactly where it's headed, unless they or Melbourne City can find a winner in the next 5 minutes plus injury time. I didn't want to take any credit away from the run of Antonis or the finish from Curtis Good, but the creativity of Hamza Saki to deliver that pass into the path of Antonis was just brilliant.
Well, you could see the quality that he possesses already in the first 80 minutes of this match before that wonderful pass. This man as well, Tolgai Arslan, with Bajic. The cutback for Arslan! Tipped over by Isaac Carmody. Corner to follow. But Metrostars were hanging on for a win. Now they're hanging on for extra time.
Aren't they what? The party tricks are starting to come out now. Great run in behind by Bajic, but Arslan was the one that found him with a cute little outside of the foot pass.
It's taken short. Hamza Saki with Antonis. Now Arslan. The ball in. Solanya's header. It's going to be City who stay on the front foot.
Well, that swagger and confidence we did see from Metrostars only 5 or 6 minutes ago has now turned to a little bit of desperation. It's the mind game as well, the mentality of them staring down extra time.
And you were singing his praises. Mossy is going to take charge of this corner as well. Hamza Saki with the corner. In it comes, plenty of pace on it to the near post as well, where Lachlan Walls heads it behind. Jackson Walls, indeed. As in it comes. Curtis Good is there again. It almost fell to Supriyan. Jamie Young. Got it clear. Curtis Good now. Supriyan had to stretch. Woodfin looking to run on with it. Now, Samuel Supriyan, I think he might have been caught there. He stayed down. The City are on the front foot. Yakulish does nicely. Ball back in. Oh, the dink cross too easy for Carmody. Now, here goes Austin Ayubi. Up the line for Malizi. Taking on Ugarkovic. Has he managed to keep that in play? He hasn't. Samuel Supriyan is still moving very gingerly. just a bit of cramp for the Frenchman. You can see in the background there that James Temelkovski is on the field as well, so we didn't see that substitution, but it looks as though it's Ren Nagamatsu, the player who's made way. Temelkovski, who Lucas Ronaldo told us in the first half is nursing a quad strain, picked up while trialling with Adelaide United. And now that very young bench that Melbourne City have, apart from Terry Antonis, is about to start getting used as Harrison Shillington is coming into the game. So he'll go to right back. Jordan Hall comes into the middle, and Samuel Suprayan has made way.
Substitution.
Shillington, who
Melbourne City off Samuel
scored twice in 20
on Harrison Shillington.
NPL appearances this season for Melbourne City. Foul by Solana on Arslan. Sean Evans wants to have a word with Anthony Solana, and he's going to give him a yellow card. Well, he got his head on the ball, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, maybe a little bit harsh.
6 minutes of stoppage time. Is there to be a dramatic finish here in Adelaide? And I can tell you we've had drama in the other game as well. We'll bring you that in a moment. Confirmation of that substitution. Shillington replacing Suprayan. So it's a first team debut for Harrison Shillington. Now Jackson Walls with Ayubi. Looks up, Walls. Still running, dispossessed by Ugarkovic. Caputo back. And Hamish Gow all the way back to Isaac Carmody. Here's Woodfin. They've given a great account for themselves, Metrostars, to take the premiers, A-League premiers that is, all the way to the 92nd minute, and they're on the front foot again here. Chiradini, Temelkovski, 31 goals so far this season, into the area, still going, Nagel cuts it back, but not enough to find Chiradini waiting in the middle.
Oh, they're not done yet, the Metrostars.
And here is that drama I was talking about. Melbourne Knights equalising in the 90th minute to make it 2-2. In that Melbourne derby. And here, there's just under 4 minutes left.
What drama at both grounds. Could be in for a late night.
Well, that's what you want from the Cup.
Absolutely. The more football we see, the better. But you're right, Metrostars have really given a great account of themselves tonight. What'll hurt is if they don't go on and win the game, coming so close yet so far.
Well, one thing you can count on is they're going to give it absolutely everything, because this is the only competition they have left. Oh, what's the referee say? Penalty! He had a long, hard look at it. Michael Chiradini can't believe it. Isaac Carmody is not happy. Metrostars devastated. And it's the youngster who's only just come on, Harrison Shillington, charging down the right.
I'm not giving that. I'm not giving that as a penalty. There could have been shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but the Melbourne City player has gone to ground because he tripped over Chidadini's legs. I can see his argument here, Robbie.
Well, they are absolutely furious. The Metrostars players. Anthony Lasagna just picked up a yellow card a moment ago. Chidadini is pleading his case, while Tolgai Arslan, who already has 2 1/4 goals in this Australia Cup, has a chance now to endear himself to his new supporters a little bit more by sending Melbourne City into the semi-finals of the Cup. Tolgai Arslan. Saved by Carmody. Oh, but the follow-up is turned home by Melbourne City's new number 10. Desperately unlucky for Isaac Carmody, who made the save but was then helpless to deny Tolgai a second time.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a double dose of heartbreak. First of all, the penalty, that I'm still not convinced was a penalty, and then the save from the goalkeeper, and the Metrostars defenders did him no favours. Not that I'm convinced they would have got there before Arslan. He certainly had a 5 or 6 metre head start on them. You have to say it was a poor penalty. Carmody picked the right way, pulled off the save. Then you're hoping and praying that your defenders will get there before the penalty take. It wasn't to be. If this is to be the way Metrostars go out, it is heartbreaking for them.
Well, heartbreaking is the word. You're going to see another change with Christian D'Angelo. Another of these players in his first season with the Metrostars, and he's going straight in up front as a big target man, the central defender. He's already scored 3 goals this season, as well as Temilkovsky launches the ball forward. Oh, they almost got an immediate run on it with Malizi. Metrostars with a last roll of the dice, looking for D'Angelo, who'd only just come on. And the quality, in the end, you could say, even if there was controversy with that penalty call.
There's not enough there for me for a decision like that at this stage of the game. Sean Evans, I think, has got that one wrong, I have to say. But it's been given. Melbourne City are in the lead. Looks like they'll go on and win this one, but that will be a moment that will haunt Metrostars for years to come.
And now Caputo. It's out for another corner. And more drama. Have a look at this, 97th minute. Mitchell Hall with a speculator that turns out to be a dramatic come from behind, probably winner for Melbourne Knights. Look at those scenes at Summer Street. While here, it's heartbreak for the home side as it stands. The 6 minutes of stoppage time are up. Tolgai Arslan, who played 36 matches in Serie A last season for Udinese, with scoring at the second attempt after his initial penalty was saved. Tough on the Metrostars. You look back to the key moments. Jamie Young's save to deny Nagamatsu early in this second half. Metrostars had their moments. They will look this evening with regret, and in the future with pride, for how they've performed this evening. Balls over the top. Ayubi went for glory. Temilkovsky and Malizi not happy.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Robbie. You initial emotions obviously will be devastation and disappointment. They can be very, very proud of the performance tonight, given the way their local season has ended, of course. Disappointment from the semi-finals, but fantastic performance tonight against top quality opposition.
Well, it's all over at Knights Stadium, where Melbourne Knights have done it at the death. There is a Melbourne City debut for Medin Mehmeti, just 16 years of age, who's come on in leaps and bounds wearing the number 50 shirt. By all accounts, the coaching staff very happy with the Melbourne City teenager. So he makes a little bit of personal history this evening as well, as this is it. This is it for Metrostars. The last chance. Carmody, long, very long, but it's going to be cleared by Terry Antonis. Still Sean Evans allows play to continue. For how much longer? The referee, whose decision was contested to award the penalty. McNamara's ball, looking for Austin Ayubi, but he won't get there. And that is that. Tolgai Arslan's injury time penalty after Curtis Good had equalised with just 6 minutes left to play, after the Metrostars thought a cup set was on the cards when they opened the scoring in the 27th minute. Heartbreak for the home side, for the premiers of the South Australian NPL. But the 2016 Australian Cup winners ensure that the hierarchy is respected, even if they gave themselves a real scare. So we will have only one member-fed club in the semi-finals of the 2023 Australia Cup. Metrostars have done themselves proud. It's a heartbreaking end to what was a fantastic season and one of much promise to come in future years. But it's finished here at TK Shutter Reserve. Metrostars 1, Melbourne City 2, and semi-finalists in the Australia Cup. Well, it was a dramatic finish. Fabian Barbiero there, just soaking up the moments of what could be a last match in his career. Competitive, that is. I'm sure the boots will be laced up before too long. Relief as much as anything for Melbourne City and Tolgai Arslan. Ugarkovic, so many new faces in this Melbourne City lineup. So many absentees. No Matt Leckie, no Andrew Naboot, no Jamie McLaren, their regular goal scorer this evening either. No Talbot, Galloway or Raish, but they got the job done and offered a couple of first-team debuts as well to the youngsters they had on the bench. Rado Vidosic's side. Jamie Young made a very important save as well to keep his side in the contest. It could so easily have been 2-0 had Ren Nagamatsu put that away. Disappointment for the Metrostars. Let's head down to Lucas Ronaldo, who's with the stars of the show. Lucas.
Yeah, here alongside Aziz Bage, and wow, what a finish. How do you sum up that one, Aziz?
Yeah, look, they didn't make it easy for us, that's for sure. You know, going down 1-0 in the first half was very disappointing. But look, credit to the boys. You know, we just stuck to our game plan, kept the ball moving, and we knew we'd get chances. It was just a matter of putting them away. But like I said, it wasn't a pretty performance. no excuses. You know, obviously the pitch was a bit different to what we're used to with the synthetic, but look, job done, and you know, we focus on our Champions League campaign next week.
Were you a little surprised how strong Metrostars came out? Because not only were they impressive, but also pressing. It wasn't like a park the bus before.
Yeah, look, credit to them. You know, they did make it very difficult for us. You know, they had a few chances as well. You know, we knew they're going to break on the counter, and you know, we just had to, you know, get our rest defence organised. And at times that wasn't good enough for our level. But you know, we'll go back and work on that. But look, credit to Metrostars. You know, they've come this far and they took it to the wire with us. So you know, wish them all the best in next season's competition as well.
And what do you make of the late penalty?
Oh look, I didn't see it. Obviously, I'll leave that to the referee. But happy on our end, like I said, through to the next round. You know, a step closer to one of our goals, and you know, we put this behind us. And like I said, we focus on our Champions League campaign now.
How much confidence does this give you, especially coming home late? You've done it before in the Australia Cup so far, going into that Champions League campaign.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's exciting. Exciting for myself. Obviously, I've been away from Oz for a while, and coming back to play Champions League was a big part of the decision. And look, I'm really looking forward to it. So is the group. You know, it's been a tough, long pre-season for ourselves, and look, you know, we've still got players missing tonight. So you know, look, we've got a great squad. So to put us through all competitions.
Thanks for your time, Aziz. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Welcome in Fabian Barbiero now. And Fabian, commiserations, mate. So close. How do you sum up the feeling at the moment?
Oh, mate, devastated. The boys did a fantastic job tonight. They dug deep, and yeah, we took it to them. We stuck to the game plan. We gave everything. The intensity. We didn't sit back and park the bus. We always play entertaining football, and just unfortunately moments in games, and this is what football's all about. It's just those finer details, which I mentioned early on in the day.